How do we, as normal people, structure our affairs for maximum income protection, maximum asset protection, without going to the lengths that Starbucks go to? Let's jump in right now and see how we can simplify asset and income protection for the normal guy in the street. We're also going to look at a normal structure of somebody setting up a business versus one with a golden parachute structure. Yeah. And then we're going to, thirdly and lastly, we're going to go through a real life kind of structure that I put in place for one of my deals. And it was the Bimbo, the one in Paisley, 11,000 square foot. I don't know if you can remember, but there's 3 stories. We have snooker upstairs on the 2nd floor, American pool, English pool on the 1st floor, a big cafe on the ground, and a game center, fun game center, and a gaming, hard gaming center. So all those different income streams on that one business, but really to protect the asset, the property, and also protect all the equipment in there. I put a structure in place that protected my asset, my income, but I also then put my shoes in the tenants and thought how best to protect their assets and income should something happen in the future. Because as we've just found out, within the first 5 years, according to the SBA, 50% of all businesses fail. So if something's going to happen, assume it does happen, and let's build in golden parachutes where we can, which are very, very simple asset protection structures. And they, most importantly, separate your assets from liabilities as long as you have a legal arm's length commercial agreement between the 2 entities. Yeah. So how would that work in terms of doing a structure that's very tax efficient, but maybe for more our size, for people on the ground like ourselves, normal people? And I suppose the way that usually happens is, how businesses start out. Oops, we're on the wrong one. Love this little sketchboard, Jamboard. It's fantastic. I think it's the way forward for me. No slide stress. I just sketch things out. So how a new business usually starts is basically they have everything in the one pot, and how that kind of works is you have a NewCo, and your NewCo is usually funded by yourself. So all your money is in here, and you got your friends' money in the NewCo, you got your family's money in the NewCo, and all these loans effectively are debt in the NewCo. And debt is usually not a preferred creditor unless they have a first security or first charge or floating or a debenture over the assets of the company. And now this to me is 100% naked, which means it's fully exposed. Yeah. So, and these are effectively your assets that's been turned into a liability by the way you put it into the company. So you've effectively turned assets of cash, loaned it to the company, turned it into liability, and now it's debt. Now at the same time, usually in the same entity, SPV, you have all the real liabilities, which may be what? Well, obviously, you've got trading, whatever that kind of trading may or may not be. You've got one of the biggest potential liabilities, customers. And indeed, everybody talks about, staff are your single business biggest asset, but they can always be the source of a massive liability, a potential lawsuit, or, a whole host of things I've experienced before with staff. And at one point, I had 252 staff. And my single biggest goal was, when I had 252 staff, is to get to 0 staff, which we did in, when was it, 26th of March 2016, which was, as you can imagine, a very happy day for me. And so what does this actually mean? Well, remember, the SBA said that in 5 years, new businesses, 55% of them fail. Now, if they fail, they're going to have creditor pressure on the business. And very quickly, these assets here can turn to zero or even negative. And all your intellectual properties in here, this brings stress, sleepless uh, nights, and a whole manner of other things, and potentially even sheriff officers at your premises, which is not good for staff morale, customer morale, and they may even want to point some items and take it away and sell that if they follow the correct procedure. And this can all be lost due to, really trigger happy creditors, like, for example, potentially HMRC. And unless you're actually comfortable dealing with HMRC or you've done it before, that is one of the most stressful things you can ever go through. You can actually negotiate with them and deal with them in a very professional manner and get time to pay and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, there has to be another way. So if that's a potential, all your money going in here, family money going in here, that can, and sits, that assets, the cash asset from friends, family, mother, father, cash assets are going in here and mixing with liabilities and turning them into liabilities. So that cash asset is now an existing debt liability in this company. So what could we do? What are the options to make this more like belt and braces, more safe? Turn the tables and put control in your hands, and instead of having it in the creditor's hands. How could you ring fence everything and still trade your business going forward so that if anything does happen, you have a golden parachute? Now, this is seriously powerful, this stuff, and it can, you've got to take it, you've got to kind of not use it for evil because it is seriously powerful. And so, what I tend to like to do is, if I'm advising someone, is I would set up this. This is a finance and leasing company, and it's owned by you. And then you've got your biz assets in this one. Yeah. So effectively, this one here, the biz assets, the business assets is usually your trading company. But I want to put another layer of protection in here. So